My head screamed Virtus.pro because of just who they are, what they do. My heart might see one of these two teams make it whip it.
Oh man, there's nothing more exciting than the prospect of a tier 2 team going to the biggest stage of them all. Dan, he's kind of a quiet player that's kind of picking up the slack for a lot of the time, and he joined this team very long ago, and well, that's actually going to be Dan.
No respect. No respect.
You put it perfectly, and as I've done so, they take away the Bravo, they take away Dan, and now, well, you're left with no clutch drones to work with, so the BP cameras, that utility still exists,
no
and
respect.
well, Guards gets aggressive, and it's Joystick, the wily old Fox slain, and this is going to be a nightmare start for VP.
Yeah, you've lost Dan, you've lost Joystick. Pasha will get on the board as he finds that kill on the P9, but so much good
cocktail, but there's not a lot they can do to move him right now. They have information, but the Bs don't force you away. The nade does, though, and Guards will fall. VP bring this back level, 3 versus 3. An entry from Pasha finds himself knocking on the door of Piano, cautious of a flank, but not arriving, and VP might try to cook an execution. Everyone's stacked up towards bathroom side.
Yeah, and here's the drop now from that skylight, and they're going to go for the plant. Now they'll hear it, all the defenders will know this is happening, and there's the swing from Jalad. No respect again. Swings across, takes down Shepard, and the case will go down, but it's all down to Pasha. He'll find one, putting it in a 1v2, and the Flames will slow down the defensive push from the other side, doing him a favor for now. But Twixt and Hasham need to work together to isolate this player, play the trade. If one player can even get on the case and do a couple of stick noises and force Pasha to reveal himself, maybe then Hasham will be able to find the kill, and that's exactly what happens. He gets one, but it's traded back, and Twisted Minds will win the first round. But whip it, have you ever seen a round that sums up this game more than that one?
Themselves out of this one.
Yeah, now the C4 is primed, ripped, and ready for that drop. It's going to be tossed actually short, so I think that's more in a defensive standpoint, so if he feels anyone pushing up, he can go for it, but Hasham will get that first kill. Down falls Pasha as he walks down those white stairs. Now you can see another silhouette just ready to go for it. The drop into Freezer has now occurred as well as the blitz without the shield, by the way. No shield in hand, but it doesn't matter. He gets the kill onto Jalad, and that frees up a lot of space on site.
Shepard finds that one pick, and he's got an opportunity to get this case down. The cover from Christmas needs to be perfect, and a repeat from down there gets him caught. Nope. And that's going to be a nightmare. Actually, no, cases on the blitz, Gibson. Yeah. They're in sight with it, so they have a chance to get this one down. The cover needs to be perfect, but with the 2 seconds left, they're going to try and stick you within 000. There's no direct cover. They'll just charge in. This should be free. Always gets one. Joystick, another one, but P9 opening at this point, and with Hasham tucked in Pixel and the window not actively holding him right now, just peeking out for information. But this is a dangerous game being played by Pasha right now, and well, Jalad is going to peek out from bottom, inside of bottom bakery and find that pick. Pasha falls, and that's going to be waving goodbye to your Ram, and that grenade might be perfect yet again. It is, and that's going to be VP's rehearsed nature. They know how to throw those nades, they know how to use their utility, and they find their 1-for-1 trade. We wave goodbye to Guards, you take that DMR off the board. Those Aruni gates still active, but at least one less active gun to worry about. Speaking about people to worry about, though, Hasham tucked in Pixel finally gets shut down by Dan, but Joystick won't last long as Trix finds that trade. Always will get one of his own. Jalad's next to drop off from this, and VP begin to close the net around Twisted Minds on this top floor.
And you can see the player on the rappel as well on that white window. This could be an opportunity for Trix to pull one back. They're going to spot the barrel of the gun, but it's not quite enough of an angle. But you can see that attempt of a kill, but Dan is just ready with the DMR. Trix falls, leaving it all down to P9 now. We spoke about him playing in this position, but it don't matter.
Find the pick on Ram by Ticket. Unfortunately, he got a little bit overextended, and he loses that top floor control.
44 seconds left. It's a 4 versus 5. Twisted Minds still have the numbers, and VP are just waiting for one of these over-aggressive TM players to extend a little bit, but it's going to be P9 who extends, and he wins that fight.
Jumps out, finds one. That's going to force reaction from Virtus.pro. They know the player inside of Cocktail's wounded. Guards finds his second. Joystick has been felled. Shepard gets one of his own, finds himself a second, but unfortunately, Hasham and VP yet again might find themselves having to make a final play with 20-30 seconds left, maybe even less.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for the side of TB, and there is that push from Hasham. He does a lot of damage on the Pasha, but the blitz is dropped inside Freezer. Jalad will find that opening kill, but there's someone prone. Oh no, it's the shell. I thought it was a player, but they now have control of sight, and Shepard is going to go for the plant. At least bait it. Try to force somebody one out. In another way, we see a gunfight happening right now. Jalad dancing around with Joystick. Joystick needs the fight. They're playing the trade here, but Trix will find a kill on the Pasha, and Joystick is going to fall. Actually, Jalad gets taken down there, but Whippet is a 4v2.
And it's only going to be 15 seconds, and well, just like that, Guards and Hasham, they lose Joystick. They take away the gridlock with 60 seconds remaining. It's going to be another run out. Shepard's gone too, and we'll get Twisted, I thought you said VP wanted a 4-1 split. Now it's going to be a 5-1 advantage to Twisted Minds if things finish the way they do look in this round. Oh my goodness. VP look to be a little bit slow on the blocks here, and it might be a 5-1 advantage at the end of the half unless they find a miracle. And they got 40 seconds to try and do it.
Yeah, this is so good for Twisted Minds. 30 seconds to go. Pasha takes a bit of damage, and he's going to be felled. Actually, it's P9 that falls at the hands of Dan from above, so they get themselves into a 3v4. But there's 24 seconds. You see the case has been dropped, and that feeds the information to Jalad as well. Yeah, you called it right. They're trying to bait the utility from below. Always now walks in. He's going to go for that plant. 3, 2, 1, and the case goes down. It's a 2 versus 4 now. A run out the window. Dan gets one, but it's all down to him. He falls, and Twisted Minds take a 5-1 half on what has historically been VP's map weapon.
That round, I think, is a great summary of how I think VP were expecting Twisted Minds to be way more by that jump out.
So, Whip It. Just so you know, how Twisted Minds are already inside the building. Pasha about to get into a gunfight with P9, who knows exactly where he's coming from, but Joystick is there. Pasha gets one of his own. 5 versus 3 already. Trix will pull one back, but try to track somebody again, but elects to go for that Fenrir once more. The smoke will cut off that long angle and towards Bar as they focus now on pushing towards Always. The Blackbeard, though, is going to get his head absolutely to the player behind, gets his head moved with guards, will find Shepard. A little melee, another kill on the board, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 1. Guards, he doesn't really have time to go for that res because it's a 1v1 whip. But what's happened here?
Everyone seemingly walking the line of sight, and guards with the Blackbeard is a huge advantage here. Though Dan gets that final credit, no revive for Hasham, but he does give away his own position. Now, can guards win this one out? He's got a massive shield to work with. He is blinded by fear, and he has to fall far back to get that case down. The blindingness, though, helps him out with limb damage gone. The Blackbeard's in a bad spot, and Dan top floor, and Twisted Minds don't have a lot to work with. Hasham walks on in, gets caught out. That's going to be that deep position held. Dan will find one of his own. Nitrocell gets that confirmation. VP find themselves with a 2-player advantage, and we're under 1 minute. Make that 3. Finally, one trying to back. Guards will get Always, and he'll descend from White Stairs. He wants to take this fight, but caught within the Banshee's wail. And Virtus.pro, at this point, will fall back. They'll sit still. They'll hold their angles. They'll watch their crosses, and they'll wait for Twisted Minds, knowing there's not a lot of time to make something happen.
The tale as old as time. 30 seconds left on a round involving VP, and the round is still ongoing. Trix will fall as Shepard swings from over inside a pillar, leaving it all down to guards now with the new DMR in his hands. He's going to get shot through the eye.
They're going to be collapsed on here by bottom white. This might be a problem. Not a lot of space to work with from that nade, and Joystick might not last too much longer. Held by 2. We lose Shepard elsewhere. Jalad finds that pick, but Joystick swings that wide, finds guards, and drops the case. Dan fires off, gets one. The trades are perfect from Twisted Minds. Even better from Hasham.
They are so over the top with how they think they can win games. They're quiet in chat, yes, but when you see them on stage, when you see them in person,
very concerned. He does have the utility to choke this play out with those canisters, but they might just not respect it, and nor will they. They charge on deep, but the Fenrir FNAT blinds them. But waiting with a diversion straight behind the pillar, trying to mix things up, and Virtus.pro find themselves in a rocket hard place. The freebie on Always. Pasha gets one trader back, and it's going to be a flurry of kills in our feed, leaving us with an advantage. 3.
But Warden, the perfect operator to counter it. The case is going to go down. Joystick takes a ton of damage. Warden's going to sprint into sight because Joystick is down. He's going to spot the planter, but it doesn't matter. The case is going to go down. He's in a 1 versus 2 as guards will fall. Spraying towards prep. Throws the C4. This should confirm out guards, which will close off that avenue of information as well. But problems now arising for Dan. But he still knows there's so much time. Hasham has gone above. The shots will feed that information. So Jalad just has to stay quiet, has to stay careful. But Hasham could win this round here and now. Dan steps across the corner. Hasham gets it. And Twisted Minds take a 1-map lead in the series.
They take the map choice of Virtus.pro as well. The highest preference on the ZML side has fallen to the MENA roster from SEL. What a moment this is for this young team.
Well, here we go. There is an old saying, you don't take the boys to the club, but I think that VP, they are going to need to do their very right. Like you spoke back about the matchup on Bank, was it against Ents years ago, where they were... But they don't have any smokes to cover. Well, yeah, on the Blitz they've got 2, but I don't think those 2's going to be enough.
I think it will be. The guard canisters will make this difficult. They have to go a little bit deeper than that default position.
Oh,
Dan's gonna find two on the cover, bring it back to level. They'll pre-fire deep through the smoke and they can stick this one. Virtus.pro have found their miracle, and Dan finds himself 3. It's all down the P9 alone, and Virtus.pro have found a way back into the opening round here on Club. 1 versus 3. Case is down. P9 is wounded, and there's no way for him to limp his way to victory as Dan makes it 4. And this extension really starting to absorb a lot of pressure from the side of Virtus.pro.
Yeah, Pasha will find P9. He extended a little bit. Here comes the blitz, but Guards is going to use that DMR. That thing hits like a truck, and there's going to be another bit of pressure. This time it's the Blackbeard as the double shield set up from VP is going to get to work. You can see Guards is still very cautious of pressure from below, and he's going to take some damage. Walking in as always. He gets up to that cash door, finds the kill, and now the next as they're walking through doors.
Couldn't agree more. They can't control the angles they work with, and when you get through that door frame, you face that 90-degree problem, and well, Hisham will find 1 pick on the Dan. The hero from our opening round has been slain, but Twisted Minds are reduced to only 3. The BP camera gives the information with no grenades left to the work of that Blackbeard of always. He cannot commit deep towards bathroom, and the rotations are all open up from the side of Twisted Minds to make freedom of movement their ally. 20 seconds, Gibson. Can they hold this on?
Well, there's going to be a really big fight at the door when they try to push through. Hisham will take a lot of damage, but the BP cam is feeding all the information of these players. And tucked inside of Logi, completely, I think, unknown, will be Hisham. He begins to walk on up. The red pings are there. You see that first fight as Jalad wins it through the Kiba barrier, and it's all gone wrong, and it trip.
They just don't know he's there, and well, Hisham will sit there, and this might be a nightmare, as Joystick with no information might just walk into the waiting arms of Hisham, who finds a freebie. He makes a rotation, but only finding Pasha. Twisted Minds take that trade, but there's still 1 player up at the advantage. 35 seconds. Hatches open. VP need to find a miracle yet again.
Sending up a prayer as they push in towards Church, as you'll see him walking on in. The blitz will be the key. P9 taking a lot of damage inside of blue, but this is still very winnable for Twisted Minds. A swing across and Pasha wins it. They've got the cross covered now. Shepard's going to go for that plant. They've got both angles being held, but there's Trix. He retakes it from above. The case goes down, and Shepard will too. It's all down to Pasha now. DMR in a 1v3. A couple of taps of the case, and he's completely covered. The hard wall is there, and we'll see Twisted Minds take another round.
Okay.
And there was Woogie Man.
We've casted a lot. We have casted a lot of Clubhouse.
Through the breach.
VP will have to charge straight through this breach with no smoke grenades for cover. They've burnt every bit of utility they have, and they have to hope their cover is perfect. But Dan, the hero of the opening round, will find 1. Shepard gets one of his own. Jalad finds Pasha in the midst of the chaos. And here come Virtus.pro. They're going to dive on in. No need for thermals when you're trying to go up close and brawl. But they haven't found that damage. And where is the case? It's gone cold. And they need to win all their ones. 10 seconds standing. Jalad finds himself 3. Shepard recovers the case. But it is job surely done, as he'll have to make a final last dive in. He'll go for an off-site position. The C4, the impact down below should shut him down. It will. But the shield on red still persists. The crossfire, likely help from construction, means they can't walk in and deny him with ease.
Yeah, P9's trapped now. Like, P9 is actually trapped. You've got a player holding him from the spot. Dan will get the kill. It's a 5v3. Reloading. This is a lot better from the team from the CIS region. VP in such a good spot. Jalad getting ready to try retake, but Joystick has read the script. There's a vault in here from Blackbeard, and there's nothing that can be done about it. You've got actually always, what are you doing? You might have just thrown the round for your team. Here on the other side, Hisham trapped, knows there's a player outside the window, but he's on the other side. Trix will get the cover. Damage dealt. It's a 2v1. Joystick and Shepard up against Trix. He's trapped in the corner.
Will charge in, the pistol getting brought out, and Shepard will try and stick this with nothing to deny this. Trix has to get aggressive. He's sticking out his secondary with only 5 seconds left to go. The cover needs to be perfect. Is he looking the wrong way? He is. Oh no!
No way!
Virtus.pro!
No
How have
way!
you let this happen? He slips through the defense. The cover was not perfect, and a freebie. I want that 5-1 advantage.
I'm in shock that it took them a minute and a half to enter the building, but really, and a map like this, there we go. Joystick walks down blue, and he finds.
This has been their problem. We sound like broken records, but so do Virtus.pro. They'll make that rotation, they'll try and dive on him, but an aggressive push, diving onto it. Jalad's gonna get caught out. He hoped for a moment of brilliance, but he gets denied. Waiting for the smoke to bloom. Virtus.pro find one, the cover is good. A mess in that kill feed, but advantage with the EML side. The case does go down. This is what they need, but they are stuck within a kill box, but no easy way out. This is gloves off brawling, dirty boxing, as they need to go for that retake. Dan shuts it down yet again. The hero of these basement assaults stands tall again. And Virtus.pro find a pulse and a lifeline and redemption if they get a 4-2 split, which they will. Eventually. Maybe. Hopefully.
They will. I will put you out of your misery. Trix does not have enough time to push up, get 2 kills in 1 round. Look, even the VP players have fallen so far back that there's no chance. 0. But VP, they have another map in their sights. They want to go to Consulate. I think the view
Virtus.pro. I said I want to see this side make it. I've seen them be so successful and so close time and time again.
Plan has now forced him into a corner inside of Strip Whip It.
He's not got nowhere to go, but do they know where he is? Asham will find one more. Dan's gonna call from this one, and will always, well, he's gonna get hunted down. The blitz will creep and crawl towards him, but at this point in time, don't commit to holding him. Just lock him in sight, and it's gonna be all down to one player alone. Always, he's in the middle of the strip club. Nothing he can do. Twisted begin to try and slow things out or slow things down. Twisted Minds, how will they try and solve this? Well, the first thing they're gonna do is try to open up with these smoke canisters. They get a pick like that, and Dan's gonna fall, and this is Twisted Minds showing their brazen attitude. They're gonna walk on in, finding 2 without the MR, and it's gonna be just like that. The knockout blow has been found, and it's all down to Pasha in a 1 versus 3. He's all alone, and the case goes down. There's nothing he can do. Guard. Mark P9 is wounded as well as Dan. Twisted Minds haven't found that opening pick that they've been oh so good at just yet.
Minute 22. Pasha gets the opening kill. How important could that be? Protecting Shepard. But Jalad and P9 strike back Shepard. Down to about 5 HP. Trapped in the corner. But always still fighting the good fight. On the other side. Finds Jalad. Leaving it all down to Hisham. But that pistol, that vendetta, that will take a lot of damage off these defenders. Joystick will get that kill confirmed, and they know exactly where Jalad is. He's got the silhouette, they've got the angles, they've got the cover. Whip it. VP should stem the bleeding now, but that cut is a very deep one, and it can open at any time.
They've thrown a bandage on an arterial bleed if they win this round. Some damage done, and it's not over yet. Hisham finds one. We named a peak after him for a reason. He's far away from sight. 1 death mark remains. Does he have the information to make it work? He should do at this late stage. Sends it out. Hunts down Jaeger. Grenade should split this, and that's going to make it a 1v1!
No way! No way!
Hisham's found a way into this one, Gibson. There's no way he finds it. VP, their hearts might break, and look who it comes down to. The veteran, the cyborg, the man who built his name around this team. It's all down the joystick to keep Virtus.pro alive, and their hopes of another Six Invitational all rest upon his shoulders. 6 seconds remain. Hisham, a long way away. Time will be their ally for once. Virtus.pro, stay alive.
And this one, but Whip It, the ban will of course be the Ying. And
they've all fallen back, and the Amos trap does go out. They spot the Valkyrie. That's going to be Dan, the man you said who might have an impact from this. And the grenades go deep. The smoke off these positions. And with Jacuzzi open up too, it's going to be Twisted Minds to dive on in. The cover needs to be perfect from them. VP is going to find one that has a joystick. Make it 2! The old fox finding chaos. And he gets smoked off and flamed away deep inside a bathroom. He'll cover his retreat with some damage, but the blitz charges in. The cover needs to be perfect! What a moment from guards! But he's all alone on a single point of HP. Virtus.pro might have hands, but guards hits even harder.
It is 10 seconds, Whip It. Dan is below. He's got impact, but there should be no cameras. He tosses the first one. He misses. He goes deep. He misses once more. Guards with the shield. The case is down. It is down to Dan, and that burn will wait a couple more seconds. The blitz shield tuck in the corner. Wait for the swing, but he knows exactly where he is. He's trying to bait him. There's a flash, but he gets him in the back, so he's going to keep full vision, full sight. 20 seconds. This time he's going to go blind as it's a fire extinguisher, and Whip It. Dan gets the kill, and they pull back at least 1 more round.
VP are gonna make this go the distance for the plot alone. Twisted Mind, scrap that.
Not forget, this is Twisted Map's choice. Across there, and Jalad, the DMR, probably working against him, as he's not able to land that first shot. A Grismoth thrown late as Tricks will catch Shepard, and it's not even an opened hatch whip, it's a little glance through a hatch that's going to find that kill. Verticality being created, but oh no, Whippet always has got himself trapped on this section of the map again. Will we see him checked out? Pasha falls at the hands of Trix. Jalad is going to get one more on the joystick. It's Dan, and always Valk reveals the position, but they know where he is. The peek across, P9 gets it, and Whippet, it is down to Dan once more. He's trapped, he's blind, he's in the corner, and Whippet, it is going to be good night, goodbye, as we see VP fall, and Twisted Minds will move on.
Twisted Minds, Rob Salt in a wound, waiting for their opportunity to find that melee kill and bully him across the long hallway. Well, that guarantees it is time for a all